Goody everyone. This is Dayhawk bringing to you my take, my review of Kamen Rider Revice episode 21. A lot of secrets is revealed and more secrets are born. Yeah, um the weekend has arrived. The creepy family that stalked the our hero's family has been revealed that they're part of a organization called the Weekend. Hiromi quits Phoenix, and more information about Gifu and Olteca becomes the new Kamen Rider Demons, and things are getting dark if it hasn't already. Um, Let me start with Hiromi just to get him out of the way. We haven't seen the body. Um, he he may be air quotes dead, but I've seen Kamen Rider so much at the point where he's gonna come back. He's going to return like other writers that get killed off for a temporary time frame, and then they come back with a new writer form and so much. So at the very end of Revice, he's gonna be already there, alive and well. So, but the thing is, though, that even though the way he went out wasn't heroic, it still meant something. Because at this point, Hiromi had worked his way into Phoenix and just to become a hero. He wants to be a hero, and he did in his own way. He ended up being a second in command, I think, a captain, and then he went in and become a Kamen Rider, even though George failed to mention that, hey, you have a demon inside your driver. If I were you, you have to be very careful, and there's side effects, that sort of thing. But no, it didn't happen, and because of that, he has the health of an 80-year-old man. Towards the end, where not only he prevented the Phoenix ship from getting destroyed, to going up against Olteca and just telling the siblings, I leave the rest up to you, and then gets blown away like that. I mean, if that's not a hero to you guys, I don't know what is. But I know you might say, yeah, but Dayhawk, the way he left wasn't heroic. True, but he died a hero nonetheless, and he's gonna be back. He's gonna be back. He's not dead. We need to look for the body, and we haven't seen a funeral scene to actually confirm that Hiromi is not coming back. But typical Kamen Rider, when it comes to characters who end up dying, they end up coming back. Unlike Super Sentai, where there are some Rangers that they do die for real and they don't come back until a movie special comes in, but that's only temporary. But Hiromi, yeah, he's a good character, but again, he's coming back. He's coming back. What else? Sakura getting an invite to join the Weekend, and I love her lines in this episode, because when the creepy family reveal themselves to be the Weekend, she's like, I'm pretty sure it's a weekday. And that's funny. And then at the end of the particular scene where everybody was huddled together in a circle, pressuring Sakura to join them, she's like, what is it with these evil cults and organizations wanting me to join? Like, what the hell? You're popular, Sakura. You're very popular. um, Apparently, the Weekend has been following Phoenix for a long time, and even they said that they're not what they seem to be. There's something about it that's way off, and their main goal right now is to find the Gifu coffin or statue. It looks like a damn statue than a coffin, but and destroy it. And that's why they are asking her to join. Also, no big shocker here, but the Weekend were the ones who shipped in the V stamp and the driver, which George pretty much, hey, what the hell? Like, I threw that away. Now we know where it came from. I wasn't surprised. Because, again, with Kamen Rider, unfortunately, it's pretty obvious. I know it's a kid show, but kids are pretty smart too. They could pick up a few things, but I wish Kamen Rider wasn't so obvious all the time. I wish there was more twists and turns, but that's just me. At least Sakura, her curiosity is like, I didn't go into the basement because I chickened out, but I had a good reason to go in now because I was invited to go eat dinner. And then Sakura was ambushed by a bunch of goons, but they were part of the Weekend cult because, my god. And so Sakura was given a mission, is to retrieve the Gifu stamp from Angelia. Sakura takes the stamp, but she noticed that Angelia was holding something back. She held back in the fight, and she wonders why. And Angelia is like, I don't know what you're talking about. Shut up. And Sakura was like, okay. And she ends up leaving with the stamp. And so, leading towards Ikki and Sakura, bookmark right there. Let me go back to Ikki and Daiji's story. The boys were concerned about poor Hiromi, and they decided to confront George and ask him, Did you know about the demon inside that driver? And he blatantly said, yeah, I knew. And the boys were super upset to the point where Ikki was about to, what it looked like wants to punch him. But it didn't happen. And after this little scuffle, George took him to the lab where Gifu is, and then met the crazy director, where he tells the true purpose of the V-stamps is to separate the demon from the human and hopefully create a utopia where humans and demons can live together. But, with characters like that, seeking utopia, it usually means they're a bad guy. But it's been proven already. It's Kamen Rider and their obviousness. My god. And then that's where it leads to Ikki and Sakura in the spa. And Ikki tells Sakura that Phoenix is not what it seems to be. And they have this brief talk about Hiromi and that's where Sakura shows off the Gifu stamp, but then Vice was like, that's a fake. And so the stamp has been swapped, I guess, and Olteca had the real one all along. And it leads to this scene where Hiromi, it leaves the driver and his letter, leaves it behind. George is in, tells George thank you for everything, and he ends up leaving, not before wanting to sucker punch George, and I'm like, do it, but he didn't do it, unfortunately. So he ends up leaving, and then he sees the director, and then he follows him to Olteca's cell, which is not a cell. It looks like a damn like cellar or something. And the reveal that Olteca and the director were in cahoots together. Olteca gives the V stamp to the crazy director, and Olteca escapes. And the moment that the stamp was handed over to the director, Gifu was acting funny, with his energies was causing the Phoenix ship to malfunction and go crazy a bit. And here's the part where I wish they would have built a model of the ship, just like Power Rangers did with Terra Venture. They could have just made a model, because the CGI of it looks terrible. It looks terrible. So it goes crazy. Hiromi, saves the ship, while Daiji went after Olteca. And again, the CGI, the green screen, the blue screen, it looks so obvious. It looks so obvious. So Daiji confronts him at the bridge, outside, of course. And Olteca reveals that, hey, I just came for the driver. I got myself captured because, it's the best way to get what I want, which is the demon driver. I'm surprised, though, that he didn't make an effort to actually see Gifu, right after, everything, or just make an attempt to rescue him. But then again, he's a statue or inside a coffin, so there's no way he could have just take the damn thing by himself. But he knows that Gifu is with right hands at the moment. So he ends up transforming into demons, and the driver senses that, hey, you're a demon too. And which I'm gonna go into detail in the end. I want to get this over with, so I'll try my best not to make it long. So Daiji and Olteca fight on the ship, and they throw themselves overboard, which was pretty cool. But the transition from the ship for them falling into the mountain area, it just looks so weird. I wish what they could have done is Daiji, uses his V stamp to have wings, his bat wings, and then still beating Olteca up while falling, but it didn't happen. It just looks weird. And then Ikki, Sakura follows the ship, and then Hiromi saves the ship, comes out because Daiji was beaten, and then he uses the gun, Daiji's gun, to shoot at Olteca, and then the siblings come in, they transform, and they help out. So Hiromi tries to shoot, it didn't work, and he gets beaten up, and then the siblings come in and beat them up. And here's the part where we, quote unquote, the last scene of Hiromi, where he tells Daiji that, I'm leaving everything to you guys. And then after he said that, Olteca uses his powers to blast Hiromi off the cliff. And again, from the beginning, we haven't seen his body. He is alive. Somehow, someway, he's alive. Or he's dead and they're going to bring him back. Either way, he's going to be back. So, no tears, guys. No tears. Unless otherwise. Unless I see on the internet his bouquet of flowers, then I presume he's dead. Because he already has his bouquet of flowers. So they end up fighting, but the match was not even close. Even with Ikki's new volcano stamp, it couldn't cut it. So Olteca defeats the siblings. He ends up leaving, and then we get to see Crazy Director next to Gifu. His Gifu's resurrection is a hand, and then in the final scene, Papa-san is suddenly affected by Gifu's power, and you see flashes of the coffin and this and that, and that's it. That from what I remember, that's it, unless I missed anything. But at least I pointed out the highlights and just give you guys a recap. But like I said, Papa-san and Gifu are connected, and it's been proven by that. I believe that Gifu is Papa-san's demon. I know it's far-fetched, but, I get the feel, but it makes perfect sense, in my opinion. I could be wrong. Maybe he's connected in some other way, but it makes perfect sense because his kids has their own personal demons, and they were able to transform into Kamen Riders without side effects, unlike Hiromi, which leads into what I want to say about Olteca becoming a new Kamen Rider demons and how he is so powerful. Olteca was already a demon, and it's strange when the driver mentions, "Hey, you're a demon. Interesting." We saw Ikki and Vice destroy his contract. So how come when the driver mentions that Olteca is a demon, what happened there? That's the question that needs to be answered. Hopefully it gets answered, but I doubt it. Since Olteca is a demon, he can fully use the powers of demons to its full potential, and we've seen it in this battle. And he's not going to have that nasty side effect like Hiromi did, because he was human and he didn't have a demon in him. So that's why his powers multiply, because he's already a demon and he's using the driver to his full potential. And that's when even Vice pointed out, like, how come he's more powerful now? And he's using the driver more effectively because he's a demon. And yeah, that's your episode, guys. Just a little follow-up, just to round it up quick. Hiromi is quote-unquote dead. The creepy weekend has been tailing Fenix for a while and wants Sakura to join. I love her responses. Ikki is now getting, Ikki is doesn't trust Fenix anymore. Crazy Director was in league with Olteca the entire time, either as the priest of Gifu or just part of the cult. George, I don't know about him, but he's God. I want to like you, George, but your actions, man, your actions. And Papa-san's connection with Gifu, which I think that's his demon. That's a far-fetched idea, but come on, guys, do it. Don't make it obvious, at least. Don't make it obvious, but Kamen Rider, what do you expect, right? So, guys, did I miss anything? Did you like the episode? Did you dislike the episode? Overall, what I liked, the episode was pretty good. A little sad, but I know Hiromi's gonna return in some fashion in either in the middle of the season or towards the end. You know the formula if you've seen Kamen Rider as long as I have. And evil cults and organizations and Olteca's ambitions of ruling the world, and Gifu is returning, and yeah, that's it. Give a like if you like it, give a dislike if you don't. Please subscribe, and I'll see you all on for another my take, my review, and I'll see you all on the other side of Oblivion, guys. Johnny!